A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here's
Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Gun.
Right there. 54, right there.
Gun.
54, Mike. No chance.
A toss to Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
A first down throw for Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Gun.
54 Mike, 54 Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54.
Watch the 48.
Hey, watch it.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he stopped immediately there. Anthony Brown there on the tackle. You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Austin. Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position. So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. He's coming, double up. Check. Lucky.
47.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Being chased out left. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down.
Here we go, 46. 26. 26.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
40's a mark, 40's a mark. I'm coming for you, mine.
Here we go, going to 54, right here. Here we go, going to 54, going to 54, right here. 26.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5.
Go, get out there. Hey, kill. 26.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. Prescott from the gun. The tight end Jarwin with it out on the left side. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. Second and 3.
Here we go, going to 54, right here.
He's checking, it's a 6. Pull it, half.
26.
Prescott now. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. No score after 1 on EA Sports. A reminder coming up tomorrow night. Monday Night Football comes your way, 8:15 Eastern. Seahawks, 49ers from Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there. Second down. On second and 12, Cousins. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
Gun.
They're running it. Mike 55. Check, 55, Mike.
On third down, Cousins. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott, and he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain him.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big game, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Jordan Taylor deep for the Vikings.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
25-yard line.
The Vikings now heading on to the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
You ain't your own line.
You ain't doing nothing today. Hey, watch that, watch that. Check right 54, right 54.
Gun.
Hey, hey.
To throw is Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Uses the spin and able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Now Elliott. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Cowboys are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down.
Check line 54. Line 54.
I got you.
They start the drive with Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Now Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
This is Cobb with a catch right side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Prescott on first down. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
He's coming. We got double.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. They showed a little athletic juke, but then the daylight quickly closed. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. No. Off. Check. 47. Check 20. We're going to 53.
Here's Elliott, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, as the first half is winding down, and the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good, and that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it first and 10.
Gun.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Yeah, let's go second. Mike 54. You draw quarter. It's a party now.
They run again on first down. Cook. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. To throw is Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 2nd down now. It's Elliott. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll turn to the power game at Olawale. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Check 26, check 26. Kill. Turn it up.
Play fake. Cousins. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players than football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it. How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
And now offensively, it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. The Cowboys on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Prescott to throw it. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first down carry by Elliott. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Mike 54. Don't get nervous.
Looking to throw. Prescott. His throw caught at about the 5. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what. Well, his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A first run for the backup, Abdullah. Give him 8, maybe 9, but they're still left with a 3rd and long upcoming.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
Gun.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
3rd and long for Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Let's get off the field.
4th down, Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. Yeah, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to the ground, Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The sack by Robert Quinn.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On play action, Cousins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Tyrone Crawford able to record his 5th sack of the season.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here's Cousins. High throw, but he makes the catch. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle. 2nd and 5 now. Cousins looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
The Vikings on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Motion out of the backfield. Motion out of the backfield. Mike 54.
Play action now. Cousins. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Cousins on 4th down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Kill. Bang. We're going to 54. Bang.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
The Cowboys on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He finds his man. It's Austin. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So much for the run on 3rd-and-1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Kill.
The give is to Elliott. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd-and-1.
Cantwell brothers on the tackle. A 2-yard pickup brings up.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Dallas, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit